Now is the business review segment of the Profit Point Show. Now we want to talk about something cogent, and that is innovation. Innovation in business world is not a luxury anymore. It is a strategy that you must perform to ensure that you stay sustained, you stay growing, and you stay evaluating all your profit angles if you want to grow in the business world. That is why we're bringing this topic to you, the role of innovation in business growth. And we have someone who can speak on that, giving us all angles to innovation and what we need to know, especially as entrepreneurs and business leaders, ensuring that the economy is good for everyone. We have Olukayode Oladipo in the house with us, joining us via Zoom from Lagos. And Olukayode Oladipo is an animal scientist and agribusiness executive with almost 30 years in poultry, animal nutrition, feed addictive market across West Africa. And he is also a registered animal scientist with NIAS and a professional animal scientist with ARPAS, and sits as board chair for Perez Project Services Limited and advised several agri-focused startups. I have to read that profile so that our viewer will know that the person talking to us or will be advising has a lot of experiences on innovation for business growth. So we want to welcome Olukayode Oladipo to the program. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for having me this morning. It's nice being here today. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome to the program. Now, let's talk about innovation. Oftentimes, when we talk about innovation, people tend to think towards technology, towards digital world, and say digital world is the only innovation that that the economy needs. But these days you hear business owners, entrepreneurs talking about innovation in the business world. What does innovation mean?
Well, in the business world, for me, like you said, the definition of innovation is different to everybody. But generally, it's just a process of translating a new idea into practical value-adding solutions. We must have an idea comes in, you want to bring that idea into something that will bring value, practical solutions, and increase in your bottom line at the end of the day to you. Take, for example, before the advent of POS and all these payment platforms, in a business I oversee at that point in time, at the end of the day, some of the staff might be going home with about 2 million naira cash. Home. Imagine the risk to them as staff and to the business for losing this money. But the moment we have all this payment solution coming into play, what happens? They hardly have 50,000 in their hand cash on daily basis. What happened? They are doing an innovation in their payment system. Money for the company is safe because the money goes straight into the bank. Limited cash, accountability is helped, and you are even helping those staff handle the cash. Because by the time you see so much money and you are hungry, you'll be tempted to want to pick up the money. So that's one aspect of innovation. Recently, with the issue of accounting and taxation in Nigeria, I was discussing with an auditor recently. I was like, hey, at this point in time in your business, you must have an accountant, I was like, with the nature of the business, with the diversification and different locations of the business, bringing in an in-house accountant will be a problem. But thank God for WhatsApp groups, thank God for communication. What was the idea? Like, instead of you thinking of us having this, having that, why not let's create a WhatsApp group? At the end of the day, for each of the different locations, there will be their report. It's from their report that the accountant needs to do the accounting package. At the end of the day, instead of bringing somebody in that will be costing you so much, you can just pay half of that and you're still getting the same value. And for those that don't even like working in offices, our accountant can sit in his house, have about 10 or 15 companies, is getting reports every day, is uploading their report, and what he's making is much more than what anybody sits in the office is doing. So innovation is a way to, reduce your stress and double your bottom line at the end of the day. Thank you very much.
All right, I like the way you started, and a lot of people are seen doing all of this that you have mentioned. But when those who are grounded in the business world, the business developers and entrepreneurs, business coaches come to evaluate those businesses, they will tell you you are not being smart about your strategies in innovation. So at what point do you think business are truly innovating? What do you see as indices that will point out that this business is truly using the strategy that is supposed to use, and the innovation strategy they are putting in place is yielding results?
Yeah, it's very simple. Businesses are different, and the point at which you have to look at your system and determine whether you need to innovate or not. It's business local. It's local to the particular type of business. Take for example, I have a friend. I read about a friend that was running a lounge where they have to serve drinks, and over time, one of the biggest problems they discover in those kind of businesses is the fact that some of the staff, when the bosses are around, they'll start bringing in their own drinks and they'll start selling their own drinks. But what did somebody do in his own business? They innovated. Every staff has an account. Every time you come in to pick anything, you have to clock it in. So the sales is being recorded against your name at any point in time, which means we expect you to bring back XYZ amount of money to return it back to the central place where you took the product from. Now, one of the other things they have to do to break off leakages is the fact that once you come in, the distance between where the staff will have to keep their stuff and where other people have to keep moving, they are two different things. So with that innovation, you just come in, you clock it in as if you are coming into work. It's against your name. But at the end of the day, if there is a difference in my cash flow as a business owner, I don't have any issue. You have your name against it. You have to make sure this amount of money comes into the business, and that's all that is needed. So it makes it easier. I have a friend that runs a filling station too. Like I said initially on the issue of innovations, with good payment platforms now, unlike before when you have a lot of robberies happening at filling stations, people coming to attack them, rob them, and take money off them. Now they hardly even have cash because everybody can pay through all the multi-payment systems. So I think innovation is just the way to go. You can innovate your business processes too. Take for example, a part of my business involves logistics. As I sit anywhere in the world, I can actually track where my truck is per time. Or like in those days when drivers would just take your vehicle, they do different businesses without you knowing. Right on my phone, we entered into with a logistic company that has GPS tracking. And as I'm seated anywhere in the world, I can locate where my truck is. I know where I sent it. I can locate it right there. And so, business innovation is massive. And AI and IT is even making the world much more easier for us to operate and run it,
Okay, so why do you think many Nigerian businesses are struggling to use the innovation strategies? Some of them you have mentioned, and some people will see it as a way of giving them too much tasks to do. The task of running the business itself is so cumbersome. So why should I add something else that will give me extra work to do? So some businesses do not take innovation steps in ensuring their business. So what word of advice do you have for those kind of businesses who are not using the right innovation, or who see innovation as a cumbersome step to take in securing their business?
My biggest advice to anybody who is not innovating is simple. You are only killing yourself without knowing. In the sense that I have a friend who runs who is into commodity trading, They used to go around all over town before with huge funds. Now the banks have said you cannot have more than XYZ amount of money in your hand as cash. There are so many restrictions now. What does he need to do? He needs to innovate. He has to get an ATM for all of his buyers. Everybody has to start thinking of, I want to pay for you, I use my card. For anybody not innovating in the age we are in now, is either the person that is an illiterate or he doesn't understand technology. Okay. We're having this program now. Unlike before, you have to call me and bring me to this station.
Physically.
But right there, you're in Abeokuta. I'm here in Lagos, and we're sharing ideas and information. It's part of innovation. Thank God for COVID. It was COVID that expanded the Zoom option for us to be able to do meetings, do business all over the world, and still remain our regular self. So for anybody who is not innovating in the present business world, is losing. Imagine the manpower if I have to drive down to Abeokuta, the road risk if I have to come down to Abeokuta, coming back, the time wasted. So with innovation, the most important thing you get is there is better time management. There are better analysis you can work with. And at a spot, you can easily, and for most of these processes, it's easier, they are computerized. When something is going wrong, it can easily be flagged, and you just pick it right there and then, and everybody is put on their toes. There is one AI tool a friend introduced to me that reads my email, sorts out my email. Instead of me sitting down myself, it sorts out my email. These are important. You don't need to waste your time on this on my phone. So innovation, anybody not ready for change, for sure, definitely will not be able to innovate. And if you can't innovate, by the time you are still counting, imagine me counting 5 million at the end of the business day, when a partner there already has all his money in an account, is just doing the analysis of his sales. So it's all about literacy and being open to change that makes it easier for businesses to innovate,
So with this, your last explanation, that means leadership role in innovation is very essential, and exposure. So what role do you think someone who has the business organization, how should they prepare themselves for innovation, and how well should they be exposed to these technologies that help you in using those strategies that are needed? What is the extent they should go?
As a business leader, you're not just leading for leading sake. You're a leader to go the way and show the way. How do you get it? There are a lot of trainings online. There are a lot of information online. There are a lot of things you can explore. You yourself as the business leader must be open-minded to new ideas, new innovations, such that once you can lock into it, then your team can easily be influenced to walk into using those steps to make all the difference. I have a boss, is in the north. He has businesses in Ibadan. He has businesses in Asaba. He has businesses in Kano. He cannot sit on all of them. But right there on his phone, there was a day we were together in my car. He was just getting his business report for the day right there on his iPad. All the way in Lagos from all of his locations. At the end of the day, he has an idea of what his sales volume was for that day. He has an idea of what the production was from each of the production points. And that makes life easy. But if the leader does not innovate, what happens? Now, they develop a new system whereby for every customer that comes around, they can actually see what you are doing on a daily or weekly basis. Just from the phone, which helps you to know, okay, I need to work more with this customer, they are falling down. So innovation for business is just something that we all just have to embrace and do. There is no shortcut. There's no other way to go about it for you to have a sustainable business adventure in this current situation of the world. It's a change that everybody must embrace.
Okay, can businesses succeed without those calculated risks that you have mentioned? A lot of people will say
it will be hard in today's climate for anybody not to innovate in his business. it will be very, very hard. It's very hard. Somebody was being funny about 4 or 5 years ago. I heard that they were taking huge funds to the bank from not too far a distance, and because some people knew that they always have cash, they were waited on the way before they got to the bank. Actually, over 20 million or thereabout when I had the report. But if they have innovated and they are using state financial payment systems and the like, would that have happened? That talk about the risk to life. What if the person is killed because of how much? The money you can make on daily basis. So the risk of not innovating and changing your system is too much a risk to want to bear, really. It's too much a risk.
Okay, let's talk about...
We all just need to innovate. We have no choice.
All right, now let's talk about the environment
and
some policies of the government. You cannot do beyond what you have when you want to do some innovations to your business. And a lot of people will say it depends on the environment you are, the exposure you have, and that some government policies that guides those innovation strategies that you want to use. So for you, do you think all of these, the government policies, the environment, and the information you have on innovation strategies, do they help? And what, especially the government policies, which of those policies do you think Nigerian business owners need to elevate themselves in the business world?
Well, in the business world of today, the closest one is that comes to mind is the Nigerian Revenue Service, which used to be the Federal Inland Revenue Service. As of today, some businesses they are automated in a way that their invoicing is coming directly through the government platform. What is the benefit of that? It reduces my stress of having to start thinking of, oh, how much did I sell? How much did I not sell? When you automate my invoicing system, it becomes easier for me. At the end of the year, all we just need to do is check out my system. How much am I supposed to pay the government? How much is the government supposed to drop for me? What have I gained as an advantage? Government is even encouraging innovation with that system. Because, many expenses as business people, we get into many expenses, and at the end of the day, you can't really put your hand on all of them. But when you have an automated system like what the Nigerian Revenue Service is bringing about, it's better for everybody. You have less headache at the end of the year to do your reportage. You have an idea of what you need. So I want to believe the government is even encouraging it. Look at the CBN regulations now. There is a limit to the cash that you can hold. Apart from the fact that they don't want you to hold too much cash, they are even helping us because the issue of attacking people for huge cash at hand over the years has reduced drastically in Nigeria. Why? Because money is nothing but just a figure on the computer. The few paper ones you hold is of no significant value, So for me, I think government is indirectly encouraging innovation with some of their policies. They are not anti-innovation. No, I don't want to believe the Nigerian government is against innovation. They are actually pushing us all to innovate heavily in everything we do. Thank you.
Now, another angle to using the innovation and making it sustainable is encouraging your employers to know what you know about innovation strategies. And now the employers, how do you integrate them to your own style of innovation? And for sustainability, you must, if you want your business to grow, especially those who run serial businesses and they are not physically on the location where their businesses are being run. So how do you integrate your employers into the strategy of your own innovation for your business? How possible is that? How well grounded can that be?
I think that's one of the easiest.
Okay.
Because all you need is to have a training session. It's all about a new idea that I'm bringing into the system, and everybody is got to align with it. So we have to have a training session. You let them understand the new idea, why it is important that our business must run on that new idea, and why they, as staff, must also run with it. It's very simple. I've done it in my own business. We are very strong on WhatsApps for reportage. Wherever I am in any part of the world, by 5:30 on daily basis, I start getting my reports on my phone.
Okay.
Because I've sold it into their mind to let them understand that at this point in time, there is a punishment for you not doing your deliverables as at when expected. It's that simple. So all we need to do is let them understand the new idea. Let them understand the reason why. Even in the process of telling them, some of them will even bring out ideas that you see incorporate and add into what you are doing that makes their life easier. So for me, it's a non-ending thing in a changing world. It's a non-ending thing, except you don't want your business to survive. You just have to innovate.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
All right, now let's talk about the lessons that Nigerian businesses have learned using business innovations. Now, what do you think are the challenges in there for Nigerian businesses when it comes to using the trendy innovation for their businesses? What are the challenges, and what do you think they should look ahead for?
Yeah, well, one of the key challenges, because most of these changes are internet-based.
Okay.
And it's important that you have a strong internet background. We're trying to do one business that we're new to, and we're having a discussion and I made them realize that we need Starlink right here within these axis for us to have a better internet connection and to be able to do things real time. They were like, which one is Starlink? I said, you guys are not even updated. Go check Starlink. All you need is, as long as you can have the sky, you're connected, and the speed, internet speed and everything for it is, so you can do a lot of things real time. You understand? Whether we like it or not, we need a strong internet infrastructure to be able to do all these changes. And that, I think, might be a major challenge to some people. Even our banks, as big as they are in Nigeria, there are days when Nigerian banks will just mess up your life by not having internet, good, stable system to be able to back up all the transactions. Although it's getting better by the day, and we know we'll keep getting better by the day. So for me, that's a key challenge. Better internet infrastructure to support and sustain what we have been doing. Yeah, that's the challenge. But the benefit goes and still be written your business report. And you can always do an internet-based call to somebody to handle X, Y, Z that they are not saying well. So I think that's the key. That's the other challenge is electricity, but I think with the advent of a lot of solar-related panels and solar options, that has reduced drastically. Because like in one of my locations, we don't even connect to electricity. We are only on solar, and that's another innovation because I just pay for it once. I don't need to repeat it, and I don't need to pay power companies for anything. So it's an added advantage to us too. So those are some of the those are some of the challenges that might need to be looked into. But that said and done, I think it's just the way to go. Really.
Okay, lastly, before we allow you go and how we are having the second segment, is your word of advice for struggling business owners or businesses, especially in African region, who think innovation is not the in thing and they are behind those of you who are using the 21st century innovation in business world. So what word of advice do you have for struggling business owners, especially when it comes to innovation and the way of using it?
Well, why do business struggle? Business struggle when there are not enough finances, number one. And one of the ways to manage that is to collaborate.
Okay.
I think that's a new word I'm running with now. When you collaborate, collaboration does not mean it's only all about money. You can collaborate with other businesses that are doing something that you think will be good for you, but you may not have the power or the capacity to do it. Take, for example, I choose to have a Starlink system installed on a location, and 2 or 3 other businesses around me don't have internet. What do they need to do if they are smart? All they need to just come to me, okay, what can we do? Can we do an arrangement whereby, okay, give us internet, give us a reasonable amount we can give you at the end of every month so that we too can power things that we need to power. It's a business. It's an opportunity. I know of a complex somewhere right there in our own complex, all of them paid for a Wi-Fi subscription, and they are paying in minute to keep their business running every day. So we whether we like it or not, you know, collaboration is just the word. It's a message I've been pushing around the last 3-4 months. Whether we like it or not, there is a level you get to on your own. You don't need people. But to go to the next level, you need to collaborate. You can't do it alone. You need other people's advice, you need other people's experience, you need other people's professionalism to get to the next level. So to all struggling business people, I'm not saying I'm free, but the word now is collaborate. Get people with like minds that can work with you, that can make the change happen. And I know the sky is the limit. Our entrepreneurial spirit in this part of the world is huge. We are heavy on it, and we believe in it. So instead of just struggling all your life, doing it all alone, look for reliable collaborators, people that believe in you, people that you can share ideas with, and let's take it up to the next level. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Olukayode Oladipo. And he is a business development manager, and he has spoken a lot about the role of innovation in business growth. Thank you for your time, and those analyses were apt in growing our business in Nigeria. Thank you for your time.